Hello everyone, I'm Martin Tuttle and this is my biggest challenge video. I think that my biggest challenge that I've faced in my current position and that I expect to continue to face in future positions is the successful advocacy of meaningful integration of educational technology in instructional design. And you might think that's everything, and that's sometimes how it feels. So in the past, I've had to advocate for this kind of integration in my current administrative job and to my superiors and my peers. And so during that time, I've had certain levels of success with both of these parties. And I think that these different degrees of success was related to my confidence in labeling myself as an instructional designer and then explaining what that is confidently, and then convincing teachers of the importance of educational technology integration in their curriculum. So there's a lot to unpack in this challenge. I think there are different areas. The first one I think is related to what I learned from my peer during this course. She introduced me to a term called imposter syndrome. And after I read what that was, it felt like I thought I was the only one who felt like that at times, and I felt like that throughout my career in different stages. And so now I feel like I'm preparing for another transition, and I'm that same feeling of they're gonna find me out is beginning to build. And so I'm hoping to combat that through identifying my upcoming challenges and being ready to give myself greater confidence. So the next aspect of my challenge is being confident in the description of what an instructional designer is and the roles and responsibilities that are included in that position, and then how I can explain the benefit of that position to an organization who may not be familiar with what instructional design is, or if they are, then explaining how my experience and education will benefit their organization. And this has come to light in my recent job search. I've had one interview with a university in the States recently, and another upcoming interview with a hospital. And so the previous one, clearly had expectations for what they expected from an instructional designer. So I was working more on describing how my experience will benefit their organization. And the latter seems a bit more undefined, and I may have to explain to people's in the hiring committee and in positions of power to what the role is and what I can bring, and explain my vision for the position. So I think in all of these, I'm going to draw from a lot of the ISTE standards. And so related into these, I think, are the advocacy for appropriate EdTech tool integration. And so this is where I've identified some weaknesses or some areas for growth throughout my transference reflection. And one of the biggest things that I talked about was my need to plan more versus just leaping into something. And I think that's related to the first standard for visionary leadership and advocating for a structured plan with steps and a timeline and for the hospital job that I was talking about a moment ago, also budget would be a part of that, I think. So I really need to be able to give myself time and lay it out and be able to explain each step. And so this course has really helped me, I feel like, developing that professional development plan. And the next aspect is related to that, is planning, is the research. And this is related to the second standard, teaching, learning, and assessments, and being able to coach teachers with research and theory-based advice or advocation. So for me, this is where if I get a position in higher ed, this is something that I'm a bit intimidated by because I think professors expect that from people that they interact with, that they're going to be able to defend their decisions if you are making recommendations for how they teach or in what way they teach online or in blended situations. I feel like you really need to be able to explain it with theory and back it up with research. And so what I'm worried about is I want to be able to have that at my fingertips, just automatically be able to say, oh, that's this theory or that's this, best practice. And instead of saying, I know it's there, hold on, give me a minute, let me go look it up and then come back to you. So I feel like I'm not quite there, and I need more experience where I'm able to just tap into these different theories of learning and explain it with confidence in those situations. And then the last aspect, I think, is really related to balance and giving myself time to explore professional development and find out new technologies and learn about new tools and how virtual reality or augmented reality is going to start playing a bigger role in instructional design. And also being fair to myself that I can't be a master of everything. I've sort of wanted to be competent at many different things, like development of e-learning and Photoshop and coding, and there's so many different avenues of educational technology that are interesting and exciting to me. But I think I need to really think about what I want to focus on and what I want to be a master of, instead of like whack-a-mole trying to find the newest technology. And so that also comes back to being able to assess it and confidently explain to people in the organization or university how this technology is vetted and how it plays an important role in their courses and their training. So the main challenge has many aspects, and I know that I'm going to be able to reflect on these and meet these challenges. So I'm excited about the future. And I want to say thank you, everyone, to my peers and my advisor who helped me throughout these courses. And my time at 4 Days has been instrumental to my future success. So it's a little sad to say goodbye and move on, but it's also exciting. So good luck to everyone, and take care.